Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we are currently working on expanding our military and exceeding our force limit. And the question is, where is that going to put us financially? Because I kinda want to fight Finland. Actually, it's not kinda. I really want to fight Finland. So we'll see where we are financially as we get this extra army put together. So far, it's looking good. It's looking very good so far. I think we're absolutely fine financially at this moment. 47? I mean, yeah, it's definitely improving. Vinland wants military access. They're at war with Britain. We're going to decline that, and we're going to declare war on them ourselves here in a bit. So let's get into position for this. I think we're absolutely fine financially. So we're going to keep in mind that we want these armies to fight together, right? So we're going to have these guys be out over here. I'm going to have these guys be up over this direction. So these two armies are going to be up here. These two are going to launch their invasion probably out over this direction, not up this way. We're not actually interested... Oh, that was a big lag spike there. Okay. We're not actually interested in taking territory up here at this time, although we probably will eventually. So let's get these guys up over here for now. Or actually, I've changed my mind. We're going to go up over here for now. We're still not going to be too interested in heading up this direction, but I want these guys to go up over here. There we go. And then this army, they're going to go up over this direction. Beautiful. So our crownland is a problem. We don't want to sell titles, that's for sure. And we do want to get some province improvements going here. So, basilicas. Let's take a look here. Let's sort like this. And then anything that is over 0.1 here is considered acceptable for now, as long as it's this cheaper price, right? So something kind of like that. And then we come on down through here. And then, okay. So these are now into the lower prices, so we don't want those. Let's take a look at workshops. 0.12 sounds good. And then we could build manufactories, but we don't really have the money. I mean, we have a little bit of money for this. I suppose we could do that. So that seems fine. Do we want to invest in any new ideas? The answer is no. We're going to get a Miltech in 1686. This is going to give us new cavalry, new infantry, which is huge, and military tactics and cavalry shock. So these guys are Miltech 23. So they have a Miltech on us. That's understood. When are we expected to get this again? November of 1686. Okay. Vinland has basically no manpower. And they're at war with Britain. So that's absolutely noted. We're very interested in doing something about that, of course. These guys are both in the same location. They're not supposed to be. We'll move them like so. Okay. Why are you at 38, but you're at 36? Something's not right here. Hang on. Combat width is 36. This has two too many in the infantry. Okay. Do we get manpower from disbanding? Yes. Okay, so that's fine. We'll just get that brought down to where it's supposed to be. Just did that slightly wrong when we raised that army, I suspect. So these are not named properly. I'm going to call this the... this is going to be the 4th Elysian Army Division A. And then this one here is going to be the 4th Elysian Army Division B. That's not a 4. 4th Elysian Army Division B. Okay, there we go. So that'll be fine. And we're now in place to launch this war. The question is, when do we want to do it? It's October of 1685 right now. We are going to get 10% reduction in January. So this price is going to come down by 10%. So it's going to drop by 68 power, approximately. So that's going to be very interesting, for sure. We're going to be really close. We're going to be really close. Yeah. Let's wait that out. So we're going to wait that out, and then we're going to attack Vinland with our new army. 100 ducats? Sure, that's fine. Okay, so we've got ourselves this at this point. That's huge. So now we need to upgrade our infantry here, and we're going to go for the light infantry, and then we can go to the carbine cataphracts. So now we can see that we're not quite at maximum morale, although I expected that morale to be a little lower than that. Ooh. Ours is an old empire. Like any old thing, it has old friendships, old enmities and problems, and old ways of doing things. The old ways, however, can no longer stand up to the march of progress. We should implement reforms so that our armies, else we risk our armies being eclipsed by rival powers. This sentence does not sentence. Okay, that's fine. So we could go for the Greek fire equipment. That would remove our pike and shot and give us modern Greek fire corps until the end of the game, reducing our land force limit modifier, increasing our infantry cost, which I don't mind that. Artillery combat ability plus 10%, land leader fire plus 1, siege ability plus 5, infantry fire plus 1.2. That's pretty decent. So these others here, manpower modifier, land force limit modifier, honestly I'm leaning towards the Greek fire. This would give us 10 years of minus 5% discipline, though. This is really awkward timing for us. But I'm going to do it. So that also puts us 1 over our military leader, so that's costing us 1 military power per month. That's understood. We have 7 out of 6 leaders. Did we get a free leader there? These are all assigned. Interesting. Okay, so that's good to know. We are going to be paying 1 military power per month for that. That's not a problem. Okay, so that seems fine. Now we've got a 10-year malice on our discipline. However, Vinland is already fighting Britain. They're allied with Portugal. My question is Portugal interested in defending them? They are, but I still feel like looking at these numbers here, I still feel like we've got a pretty solid advantage here. What's Spartania militarily at? They're Miltech 22. So they're behind us in Miltech at this point. That's interesting. And they're at 96k soldiers. And how strong is Portugal? 118k with 49 ships. We're net negative financially. Hang on. Let's see what's going on with that. Let's give it a month tick. Net negative. Minus 85. That's significant. However, we can grab a dip tech here. The reason why we're net negative here, I bet, is because of the unbalanced research. That's probably a big chunk of it. So let's grab our dip tech here. There we go. That should help. And let's give it 1 more month tick and see where that puts us at financially. Also, our land force limit dropped, and we know that's a thing. Okay. Where are we at here? Yeah, that's painful. So we should not go to war at this time. I'm going to cut our army maintenance for the moment. And yeah, that's going to be a little painful. But I'm going to cut our army maintenance for right now. We should not go to war at this time. What we need to do at this juncture is we need to raise up our land force limit. Modern Greek Fire Corps, dropping that by 15% is painful. So that's understood. To that end, we're going to give it a moment. And we know that this number is going to drift up over time as our development does. But there are buildings that we can build to fix this also. So that would be essentially building like a conscription center, right? These are fairly expensive, 340, and this would be absolutely fine to do. So actually some of these are a lot cheaper. And that's noted. So it would need a fair amount of gold to do this. right? And the question is, how do we want to go about getting that gold? We can sell Crownland. It's a terrible idea. We should not sell Crownland. So that is understood. Separatists up over here. Okay. We are going to need some amount of army maintenance here. This battle will be on 13 August. Okay. Let's have this be on the 2nd that we arrive. Like this. There we go. We struggled with that one, but that's okay. We got there in the end. They did not have the numbers. So administration power for inflation, yes, we take that. That'll be fine. And of course, now we need to drop our army maintenance down. And we'll just sit right about here. Now, we're still... Spartania wants help. 100 ducats and 2,000 manpower. Done. I mean, they've got that under control, but we'll help them regardless. So that seems absolutely fine for right now. What's not fine at this moment, of course, is our financial situation. This was caused by the Greek fire decision, and that's understood. That's absolutely fine. To that end, I'm actually thinking that we're going to be best off debasing our currency a bit here. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 for the time being. That puts us at 6 corruption. Now, we're losing money right now, but I want to bring this down to about minus only 0.1. So about here, right? So we're still making money, and now we can put this money into conscription centers. Okay, so I want to do this in locations, well, ideally where we already have some conscription centers going on, right? So these that have 0 or -1 possible buildings. This is where I'm going to build them first. This is upgrading our existing locations. Then I'm going to sort here. This is probably still upgrading existing locations. Like that. And that's going to get a bunch of these conscription centers done. Which will eventually get us some additional land force limit. So that'll be great. And back over here, we can see we're at 203 at this juncture. So that's fine. There's a base production bringing us up to 204. I like it. And there's a conversion finishing up. There's a base manpower coming in. Fantastic. We should actually pull this colonist back, and let's send that over to a location with lower development. So that would be like out over here? Sure. So in goes this guy. Fantastic. So we can see we're about 100 days away from getting these conscription centers done. We will get there, and this will help, but this won't solve the problem. But we will see our income dramatically increase. Eventually. So that's fine for now. We are still interested in building more conscription centers, so this would be like this one. We'll get that going. Separatists out over here. Understood. So our current morale here is pretty low, right? And once again, we're going to crank our army maintenance up to be like here or so. So we're going to have at least some army maintenance. And we're going to go in here. This does not have a leader. Okay, we can give our air military command. What's our air stats? Those are pretty good stats. I don't want to risk our air then. So in that case, we're going to roll up a new leader. And yes, that's going to cost us an additional military power per month. That is understood. So we can now grab an admin tech, and this is probably a decent thing to grab. I mean, we aren't ahead of time right now, so let's go ahead and take that. That'll be okay. So we're going to get rid of these separatists here. No problem. Excellent. And we're going to need to wait for these guys to replenish a little bit to get them moved back. There we go. And now, at this time, we can drop our army maintenance back down. Perfect. Gain 50 ducats. Yes, please. So that's fantastic. You can see right now we're up to 33 ducats. If we were to bring this up, we'd still be at minus 75.8. So we're not where we need to be yet financially, and that's understood. Merchant failures, okay. I'm going to take the 305 ducats here, and we're going to put that into additional conscription centers for right now. So we need this to be sorted like this. Yeah. So we'll get an additional conscription center in here, and let's check in on where we are on that. So we're at 221. That's definitely... no doubt about that. We lost our trader, and we absolutely do need a new one. So I'm going to debase our currency yet again. I'm going to do it twice, 3 times, and that's the most that we can do that. So we have a lot of corruption. That's understood. We're going to be working on bringing that down. But that's a fair amount of gold, and now what we can do is we can grab this trader, and we'll be still financially positive. So this sounds okay. We'll work on our diplomatic tech here. That sounds wonderful. And then what we need to do is we need to put more of this money into conscription centers. About like that. So that's a bunch of conscription centers coming in. And that will boost up our situation financially a fair amount. That was really awkward timing to get that Greek fire decision. I would have drastically preferred that that happened after the war, but oh well. So it's fine for right now. Checking in here, our colonists are all okay for the moment. Royal marriage offer from Netherlands, yes. That sounds good. Okay. Now, when's the next institution? That's in 1700, right? Yeah, that would be Enlightenment. What do we need for that? Elysia would need development of at least 30. But otherwise, it would have to be true. Wow, I can't speak apparently. Otherwise, we would qualify here. So that seems fine. We can actually boost this up a little bit. I'm going to put some base manpower into Elysia. So we're at 24, 25, 26, 27. And then I'm going to put some admin in here too. 28, 29, and I'm going to do 1 diplomatic tech point here. So now we're at 30, which means that we should qualify to have Enlightenment spawn in our territory. That doesn't guarantee that it's going to, but it does qualify us for that. So that seems good. Okay, so now what are we at for our land force limit? Still 221 at this point. That's understood. Now it's up to 223. We're going to finish up a bunch of these conscription centers here. And we're going to gain 25 dip power. Absolutely. So that seems excellent. And this is now at 239. So this is a significant boost for us here. We're making about 20 ducats per month now. And I'm considering taking a loan to put more conscription centers in. I think I'd prefer to debase the currency, though. So I'm going to do that. And we are then going to put in additional conscription centers. So how many of these are we going to get? Well, a few. We'll get 3 of them coming in here. So that'll boost us up by roughly another 6. So that's, you know, something. And the question is, where would we be at right now if we maxed our army maintenance? Minus 91, so that's actually worse than where it was. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So that is fine for the moment. Awkward timing, no doubt about it. We could sell titles. We can actually seize Crownland here, and I'm going to do that. So we'll seize this back, which will boost up our national tax modifier by 5%. That will be fairly large for us. That's good. And we just kind of need to grow into our military at this point. We lost a general, and I'm not going to immediately replace him. We'll replace him eventually. Othama Separatist down over here. That's a little awkward, but sure. We'll head down there. I'm actually not going to use this. I'm going to use the one with the general. We're gonna come down here, and we're going to put this up to about here. Now, keep in mind, we are replenishing forces here, and that is costing us extra. So that's understood. Trade dispute CB against Granada. understood as well. And we can set an agenda here, which I want to do. So we're going to get that going. And what do we got here? Build a manufactory for a base tax. It's pretty good. Not that we have the money for it, but, you know, we can get it. Okay, so we won that very easily. No problem there. And let's head right on back up over here. But we can't move these yet. Now we can. So do we want to sell titles? How much would we get for this? 3,500? I mean, that's pretty okay. But we kind of don't want to. We would really prefer not to. What do we got here? Patriarch Authority? Yeah, that's okay. So Patriarch Authority is fine. Diplomatic Reputation Reduction? Okay. Whatever. So we're going to need some money to build a manufactory. I'm actually very tempted to do the sale of titles right now. And I'm doing it. I'm not happy about it, to be clear, but I'm doing it. And we're going to build our manufactory here, which will give us our base tax there. And then the rest of this money I'm going to put into conscription centers. There we go. Something like that. So that's going to be how many? That is 2, 3, 4. This tooltip is very annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think. With the tooltip over it, it's very hard to tell. But I think that's 10. So that would be approximately 20-ish, which would bring us up to 265. That's definitely looking a lot better. We don't have a debate in Senate right now. Crown land ownership actually is really good here. Or half a point of corruption and 0.05 yearly corruption. That's pretty good, actually. I'm going to select that. And we're going to grant local autonomy. We're going to mint national coins. And that brings us up to 48%. We can placate the Barbaroi. No problem there. Legitimacy. That's fine. Diplomatic support. That's 23 diplomatic power in exchange for 5 counties. That's not bad. I'm going to do that. Placate the Dynatoi. Yes. That brings us up to 83. Churchlands. Yes. 94. Prestige. Yes. 97. National conscription? Sure. And it passes. So that loses us half a point of that corruption, which saves us a lot of money, and drops it down by 0.05 every year. So that's a pretty major, significant change, and we need to drop this down to be about here now. Perfect. That's going to save us a good amount of money. So our army maintenance should be dropped down to right here. And our troops are still taking reinforcements here. So that's this up over here. Noted. That seems absolutely fine for now. These conscription centers are going to finish relatively shortly. Infantry cost reduction. Okay, we don't actually care about that. So the conscription center is finishing up soon. That's great. That will bring us up to approximately 260. And we'll see what that puts us at in terms of how much money that this is going to cost us. We've got to be getting close, right? How's their war with Britain going? They're actually in a war with, who's that, India? We can't actually see. I think that's India. So they've built up a little bit of manpower there. That's understood. They're attacking. Okay. Noted. Okay, so we just finished up all of those conscription centers. So that puts us at, this will update, 267. That's better than I expected. Fantastic. So at this point, if we were to raise our army maintenance, this puts us at minus 43. That's a significant improvement. If we were to put our rooting out of corruption here at even, 36. Yeah, that is a significant improvement. For the moment, I want to be putting all of our money into rooting out corruption, but we're still interested in getting some additional work done there. We converted the heretics of Rada. That's understood. And so this is going to be, I think this was for 10 years, so that loses like 1 point of corruption over that entire duration. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Yeah, pretty sure. So this guy would become an advisor at court, or we would gain 50 military power. We're going to take the military power. How are we doing on that anyway? So we're currently 9 years ahead of time, and we would need the Enlightenment for this. Noted. So that means that we should probably be putting this into quality ideas. Yeah, this would be very good indeed. There's also this economic idea here, yearly inflation reduction. I don't think inflation is a significant problem for us. No, so I'm not that concerned about that. I think we'll get that put into admin tech. I think that's the way to go there. Base manpower, I like it. And we're currently at 268, so we're 20 short. That's a significant improvement. I don't want to spend money on this. Thank you very much. But I am going to debase our currency again. Yes, this is a problem. We should not do this too much more, but we're going to do it again. That's it, just the twice. And with that, we're going to want to build some additional conscription centers here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's going to get us really, really, really close. That's going to be about 12 approximately. It's going to be about 12 land force limit, bringing us up to 72. So we're going to be short by about 16 at that point. This is going to be much, much closer. So that looks great. It is time to put a cut in here, though, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue to work on this, and I really do think we're going to attack Finland. With that event, we weren't in an economic situation to attack them. I'm glad we didn't. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.